Hello and welcome back to another video, and today we're back here on MotoGP 24 and I am checking out an absolutely incredible mod for the game. So it's by Ramon98 and it is called MotoGP Golden Era, and to be honest I think it's just better to show you rather than try to explain what the mod actually does. So I've jumped over to Time Trial now and gone to the category selection screen, and right away you'll see what's happened. Of course, there was Sete Gibernau in the main menu. You can see, I think we are Olivier Jacques here on this screen as well. But you can see here, this mod adds 3 modded classes to the game. So obviously replacing MotoGP, Moto2, Moto3. In fact, actually 4 classes, I suppose. 3 seasons, 4 classes, because Moto E is also replaced. You can see we've got the 2003 MotoGP season, the 2002 MotoGP season, then, of course, the 500cc Championship in 2001, because obviously it only became MotoGP in 2002, when they swapped to the 990s, and then a 500cc Legends category, which is replacing Moto E. So I guess we should go through. I probably won't show every single rider off in detail, but I'll just scroll through the menu and let you have a look. It pretty much does as it says on the tin, I suppose, that you get all of the riders. Although, interestingly enough, we actually have 3 riders for the Movistar Honda team. I actually wasn't sure how they play this, because obviously, unfortunately, I'm sure most people are aware, but obviously not everyone will be. Daijiro Kato, the rider here, unfortunately lost his life in the first round of the 2003 MotoGP season. So, of course, for the majority of the season, well, for literally the entire season, aside from obviously the first round, he wasn't on the bike. So what they seem to have done then is put Chianari, who I think was the replacement for the majority of the season, on that second bike. They've also included him in the mod, so both of them, so you can pick whichever rider you want to play as, which is a nice touch. I wasn't sure how they would actually approach that, because obviously you'd probably typically go with the guy that did the most rounds, but then obviously it's the tragic circumstance that a lot of people would obviously want to play as Kato, so that's obviously the way they've managed to do that one there. Obviously another unfortunate rider here, Nicky Hayden, although of course it's many years after this season, and Valentino Rossi, the main guys. We've basically scrolled through pretty much all the riders now. Obviously very similar to the 2004 mod. Obviously some of the liveries are pretty much the exact same, just a few little tweaks here and there, but then some things are pretty different. So there you go. So that's the 2003 class. We'll sort of go through 2002. So you've got Checa, Biaggi, Checa, Abe, Perariba. Oh, actually, so we have actually got the icons for the lower classes, because obviously they are replacing Moto2 and Moto3. In the base game, they have the pilot icon there, which they don't have in the MotoGP class, and they actually have gone through. They've just seen a picture of Perariba there. Obviously, probably most known these days for being crew chief for Alex Lowe's in World Superbikes, although Johnny Ray for many years before that. Although, of course, he was a racer in his own right back in the day. Tetsuya Harada, obviously Kato again, but obviously he was in 2002 as well. Obviously Rossi, Toru Okawa, KRJR, Sete Gibernau. Obviously 2002 was an interesting season because there were both 500s and 990s in the same class, because obviously it was a transitional year. They wanted not to bankrupt a load of teams, and it was just so expensive to make all these new bikes. So a lot of the satellite teams, because they would typically buy a year-old bike off the factory, they obviously didn't really have those to spare, so they had to go with the 500s. So you will see in this category a few 500s mixed in, but I must say, skins do look very nice, and you'll see here there's actually a bit of a contrast even within a team itself, because Alex Barros was given the 4-stroke bike towards the end of the season. You've got Jürgen van der Gerberg here as well. Obviously, you guys probably know his son. A lot of you guys will know his son a little bit better, Zonta van der Gerberg, who's currently in the Moto2 class. Obviously, this was his father. And then got Regis Lacconi as well on the Aprilia, but looks to be a Yamaha, an M1. Then we have actually got the 2001 category itself. So again, riders are pretty similar, but obviously got Rossi in the Nastro Azzurra. We've still got Alex Crivier in the class, Toru Okawa obviously still in the 500, both the Honda Pons boys in the 500 in this edition. Obviously, reigning world champion Kenny Roberts Jr., Sete Gibernau again alongside. You've got Shinji Nakano, Olivier Jacques. Obviously, we've seen them in a few of the classes. We've got Abe as well on the Dantin, Cardoso, Gary McCoy, Nori Haga, Chris Walker, Leon Haslam. That is crazy. Leon Haslam is still racing now, and he's in this mod. Jürgen once again. Yeah, you got Aoki, Vincent, and I think that's it. I think there probably were more riders on the grid, but obviously there are restrictions with what can be done within the game. And then we'll go through the 500 class quickly as well. So you got Gardner, Lawson, Schwantz, Barros, Rainey, Kaczynski, Doohan, Crivier, and Okada. So I'm guessing there's obviously only very few riders in here. I'm guessing probably some of the Moto E riders have been used for the classes to pad the numbers. So maybe everyone was there. Maybe there weren't anybody missing. I can't say I know the fields off by heart. and would notice particularly, especially any of the backmarker teams. So I think what I'll do is now, I think I'm going to do a race in the 2002 class, but I think I'm actually going to go on one of the 500s because I'd be interested to see if there is sort of a performance disparity between obviously the 990s and the 500s. You know what, we'll go as Loris Capirossi, so we've got a direct comparison with our teammate Alex Barros on the 4-stroke. And I guess in terms of tracks, yeah, they're pretty much just, they're going to be replacements for the real ones, I suppose. So you've got Fakisha there, which is Kazakhstan seemingly, and then obviously there are some tracks that were on the calendar. But I think I will go with you know what, I won't go with Catalonia. I'd say I'd go with Assen, but it's not the right Assen, is it? It's the old Assen back then. I'll go with Jerez, because I think if we're on a 500 against a field of 4-strokes, that's going to be one of our best chances. I don't really want to go Sachsenring, because I just don't really want to play Sachsenring, to be honest. So I think Jerez, that'll go quite well. A lot of high-speed, fast corners. I do remember that the 500s were pretty competitive with the 990s there. So without any further ado, we'll head down to the track. I can see that I'm in time trial mode. I will swap to a Grand Prix. Completely forgot about that. But I'll see you down on the track for an actual race. So we're down here then on the grid at Jerez, and I did actually notice in the cutscene that the sponsors are updated all around the track, so that'll be really cool to see when we actually do get into the race. Now, I've just done a 6-lap race, kind of similar to what I did with the 2004 video, where actually I've gone with a slightly lower difficulty, so hopefully I should be able to fight my way through a little bit, just so we can have a look at the bikes and liveries. But without any further ado, we may as well get the race started.
The riders are lined up on the Jerez grid. There doesn't seem to be any problems, and they're all ready to go. A few seconds now, and the lights will go out.
So shockingly then, Rossi on the pole, Barros second, and Ukawa third. So those RCVs are absolutely dominant here then. So the lights are on there, waiting for us to get here for this 2002 Grand Prix of Jerez. Lights out, and away we go. So ahead of us then we've got McCoy and Laconi. Bit of a bug I think going on there with Olivier Jacques, or one of the Tech 3 boys as we go into turn 1 anyway. The rear tyre disappeared a little bit. We've gone at the inside of quite a lot of riders. In fact, we've gone past half the grid basically at turn 1. Maybe I've got the AI a little bit too low. I only turned down to 100, but that seemed to be enough to make a difference. We've fought our way all the way up into 8th place already, up into 7th place. And you can see Kato's trying to come back up the inside of us, just try and lead on him a little bit, try and carry that speed, carry that 500 speed, although, to be fair, it doesn't feel like a 500, unfortunately. But obviously, again, there are limitations with what can be done with the game. I'm not actually sure what bike it is, because it's not a Moto2 bike. So I guess it's probably just a modern-day GP bike, I suppose? Or maybe like the classic stuff that's left over. I know that's how the 2004 mod was done with the classic physics that still exist in the game, but bike isn't wheeling nearly as much, so yeah, really not sure about that one. But anyway, it's been a really good first lap. We actually didn't see a lot of the riders because I fought my way through a little bit too quickly, but I think that might just be the fact that AI are a little bit weak in set to want this track, because you can see the rest of the track, we've not made the same level of inroads. So we're up behind the Seti Shibadao on the factory Suzuki. Ahead of him, Arbe, I think, also on a 500, so he's doing pretty well to be where he is. Barros, second place. Biaggi, third, so Ukawa's actually lost a spot from that grid. So in the first couple of sectors, he's not had a great first lap here, but here we go, the inside of Seti Shibadao. We don't want to contact them into this corner. He gets that in a few years' time. Actually, to be fair, he's lent on us a little bit. He tried to hang around the outside, he's not been able to do so. Although, to be fair, it did seem like he probably did have a little bit more punch out the corner, so potentially the 500s are slower bikes. Perhaps they've given like Yamaha physics or something to the 500s. And we've run a little bit wide there. In fact, I actually overheated the soft tyre a little bit. And Biaggi, not Biaggi, where I got Biaggi from, Shibadao has managed to get his way back past us, so we drop back down to 7th once again. But try and hang it around the outside, beat him to the next corner. There finally is a bit of contact with Sete. And we fought our way up then into P6. Next up then is Norikabe, then Ukawa ahead of him. And obviously the order, well, is still the same, so I'm not going to read it out again like I did in the sort of the last sector on the previous lap. We go through the Sito Pons corner on the Sito Pons team bike. Not really making any roads there on Arbe, but you wouldn't really expect to, being both on 500s, although, of course, he's on the Yamaha, we are on the Honda, the NSR, and we've completely got that one wrong. Brake's not working for us today. The front tyre is overheating quite a lot. And Sete almost got past us there, but actually wasn't able to. In fact, he actually got a trellis warning, did Sete, so he's going to have to watch out for that one. But it is making me wonder here with the front tyre whether we are on Moto2 tyres still, because that is something that can happen when you put the... Oh, Rossi! Rossi's wide! So, I'm sorry, I was talking about the physics. If Rossi makes a mistake, loses the lead, Barros takes the lead, Biaggi is trying to take advantage as well. That's a rare mistake from Valentino Rossi to lose the lead of the race here. So Alex Barros could be, of course, to win the Spanish Grand Prix. That would be pretty different. Obviously, back at that time of the calendar, he was on the 500 still. Trot was warning for me. That definitely did not exist back in 2001. 2002, sorry, should I say. As we go into the Jorge Lorenzo corner, then can we try and get the exit here? Well, we've just absolutely blasted past Norikawa. So up into P5 then. Ukawa up next. Barros still leads. Rossi hasn't been able to get it back yet. Fastest lap of the race to myself then. And we go to turn one. That front tyre really overheating again. So I think it does seem like maybe we are actually on these Moto2 Pirellis behind the scenes. And obviously these bikes are a bit heavier, put a bit more force through than the modern day Moto2s. So they are going to overheat the tyres a little bit more, or at least the way that's how the game physics work. So we're going to try and go around the outside of Toro. We're not quite able to do it, unfortunately. He holds the position for now, fair play. So I was a little bit worried after the first sector that we were going to be able to easily pass on the AI, but it actually seems like it's quite well balanced at the moment here, because I've just jumped in the game, not played it for quite a while properly. And here we go, the side of Ukawa. Oh, that was close, and we are down. We'll undo that one. I'm not sure. Well, I definitely know what happened. I just overloaded the front, but the thing was I thought I was going to hit Biaggi because I braked so late. So I grabbed a bit more brake and, yeah, overloaded the tyre. So I think what I'll do is not pass Ukawa into this corner because Biaggi's just that little bit too close at the moment. And now Barros is wide. Barros is wide. That's going to maybe allow Rossi through. We're going to go around the outside of Ukawa, actually. So we've managed to pass Toro in all of that anyway. And another mistake from Rossi. He really is struggling with that front tyre. I wonder if he's having the same problems that we are with the Pirelli sort of tyres underneath the hood here. Because he's actually losing a lot of time to Barros now with that mistake. And again, at the same corner, the Angel Nieto corner, he's wide again. Rossi is in some major trouble here. We're surely able to get on the inside of him. And we're going to be up onto the podium, which would be fantastic. But Rossi, it looked like really should dominate this race. And it has not played out like that at all. And Biaggi was a little bit wide there. So it seems like the AI also struggling potentially with these tyres a little bit. And Barros, really the only one that's not in trouble at the moment. And we go on the inside of Biaggi to try making him Honda Pons 1-2. Biaggi tries to go around the outside, but he's not able to do so. And we've got past him. So then we are up into P2. 8 tenths of a second then behind our teammate, obviously on the superior bike. Even though we are teammates, he's on the 4-stroke. Although it does seem the physics are pretty similar, and he's got a little bit wide through turn 1. So yeah, it does seem like maybe it's the whatever he's given the 4-strokes are the ones actually overheating the tyres a little bit. That's actually what's causing problems. But obviously, of course, with the sound, it is just again sounds from the game. You can't really import sounds from the old ones. I think it's theoretically possible, but it's not really something that's ever been done particularly. So it does seem like we've all sort of got the modern day 4-stroke sounds, which is a shame. Not such a problem for obviously the actual 4-stroke bikes, but even still, they do sound pretty different now than they did back then. But now we're going to make an attack on our teammate on the inside into the Pedrosa corner. No, again, absolutely nowhere near. I've gone massively wide. In fact, I think I've forced Alex a little bit wide as well. And rightfully, we've lost the position. So the dive bombing tactic not really working at the moment. But again, we know they are weak through this section. We've seen Rossi make 2 mistakes through here. Barros a little bit wider than he probably wanted to be, but nothing major there. Although through Pellicky, he is quite wide there. Are we going to be able to out-drag him towards Cripier? We really shouldn't be able to. But we are, obviously, because we are basically, it does seem like pretty much on the same bike. He tries to hang it around the outside, but he's not able to do so. So here we go then. We've taken the lead as Loris Capirossi with just over 2 laps to go. So we go through the final turn then. About to start the penultimate lap. Lap 5 of 6 here at Jerez. We have managed to get our way into the lead. I'm just having a little look at the lap times here. So 42s so far, my 2 fastest laps. So we'll have to sort of keep an eye on that. Again, I'm just trying to use it to estimate maybe what bike physics we're actually on, and that actually is another crash there for ourselves. And I might just try to keep going with that because we'll see how far up the order we can get back, because it does seem like quite a big pack here. Obviously, we've only got a lap and a half. We'll have to see what we can actually get back, although it seems now like the tyre is gone completely, so that's definitely one thing it seems about this, is that the tyres probably need tweaking behind the scenes so that they don't overheat as much. I'd actually be really interested to try the 2001 class, because it'd be probably a lot worse in that class with them being on the Moto3 tyres. So we're about on the back of Carlos Checa, so this is going to have to be one of those absolutely ridiculously aggressive, superb final laps if we're going to try and get anything out of this race. I can still see the race leader, Barros. He does seem to be struggling. He's holding up the pack a little bit by the looks of it, which maybe gives us half a chance to get a few positions. And we're going for a pass. Well, that was definitely illegal there. Jet trail limits. I was surprised we actually didn't get told to give the place back, because usually it does. But there we go. We've passed Checker. Look, it's like a one-off mod video. The riding standards don't have to be that high. But there we go. Then we've passed Carlos Checker. Looks like we're going to be able to pass Kato as well on the run to the line. Well, not quite before the line, but we should be able to get him into turn 1. So this is how we go off Kato. That's going to put us up into 7th place. We've both ran pretty wide. I realised I was going wide there, and he tried to tip in, and yeah, it was pretty unfortunate for him. He got dragged wide with me. Then Gibernau's next, then Arbe. We should be able to get them, and it looks like Arbe actually is sort of hassling a car with him, which will help me, because the AI battle, it'll hold them up even more. And Rossi still looks like he's in massive trouble as well. He's run wide again through turn 4, and here we go. Into Sita Pon's corner. We're going to make a pass on Sete. Sete leads on us. To be fair, he's within his rights to do so, but just trying to be sneaky up the inside. We go past Sete Gibernau then. So back up into 6th place then. Can we get Arbe? I'm going to have to brake semi-early here, but just late enough to be able to maybe level Arbe into the corner. Seems like I have actually done that, to be fair. So we go. We've got past Arbe then. Next up is Okawa. Can we beat him to the next corner? It does seem like it. Now that it seems like I'm into the groove of the game a little bit, the AI probably are a bit too low. You see how many of them I've just absolutely mugged there. So we could still get a podium here, because we know Rossi's going to struggle into this next double rights if we've seen anything so far in this race. So I could pretty much commit how I want, and he'll run... Actually, no, he actually hasn't run wide. Well, he's run a little bit wide there. We might have to get him into Pellicky, up the inside. Yes, I've done it. So up into P3 then now. Can we try and pass either Biaggi or Barros before the end of this? It's going to be tricky. I don't think we're going to get them both, but we'll have to see. We go through Ferrari. We've got the run. We've got the run of Biaggi. Come on, surely it's the last corner. Surely not. We're going to get the inside of Barros as well. Barros tries to hang it around the outside. We're going to just squeeze him out. Yes, we've done it. Yes. Okay, so we're actually going from like 8th place to 1st on the final lap. You can see that fastest lap as well, miles underneath what we did before. But we've won here as Loris Capirossi. Wow, then, even with the crash, we were able to come back and win. Obviously, I turned the AI down to 100, so it seemed like they were a little bit too slow. Although, a second, I don't think they'd get a second by turning them up 20%, so I think we would have probably still had them covered quite handily. It did seem like that AI was struggling a bit more with the tyre. But there you go then. That is the MotoGP Golden Era mod for MotoGP 24. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really fun to play. Obviously, a couple of little issues here and there, but I'm sure they'll be able to be ironed out, or perhaps we'll be able to have a look and see if it's possible to try and sort them. Let me know if you want me to do some more videos on this, because obviously there are basically 4 modded categories in this. I mean, there's probably not much to get out the 500cc sort of legends category, because there's only about 5 or 6 riders. But the other category is full season, so potentially something we could do. It's a shame, really, that it's come out so close to MotoGP 25, because if not, if it had come out earlier on in the life cycle or waited till MotoGP 25 was already out, we could probably have done some sort of championship or career mode on it. We could have followed through literally from 01 all the way to 04 with the 2 mods that he's done. So maybe that's something that will happen in the future. I think there are plans to maybe port this to 25 once that comes out, so we will have to see. But I hope you guys did enjoy that one. If you are new to the channel, please do like the video and subscribe, because it really does help me out. But obviously only if you want to. If you don't, then obviously no issues there. But I hope you do enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.